So this is the Kudila television channel being broadcast on the internet, only on the internet, under the banner of Baby Angel Geronimo Manifesto editions, accompanied by Baby Skaji and her family. From 1978 to today, 29th of September 2024, today's Fleet Street newspapers, that is London-based British print newspapers, contain an item that is carried on more than one titles, which is about the Member of Parliament, Rosie Duffield, citing Keir Starmer's sleaze for leaving the Labour Party as a Member of Parliament. It is quite interesting to see the swiftness with which she has made the decision. She is probably the first one to show any practical response to Starmer's sleaze culture. Maybe others will follow, maybe they won't follow so soon, but she is, of course, she has got a history, because as a member of a constituency, representing a constituency in Canterbury, she's quite rare, because that is a traditionally, historically conservative held seat. Now, she has held the seat despite the fact that there had been quite a number of controversial incidents between her and the so-called, what is this, transgender lobby in the Labour Party. And so she would be considered as a moderate, so-called moderate member of parliament. But her decision to cite Keir Starmer's sleaze for her reason, as her reason for leaving the Labour Party in Parliament, or parliamentary Labour Party parliamentary whip, will add to the substance of the story around her. And this will add pressure to the political plight that Starmer finds himself in as a result of the huge sums of money that the corrupter Wahid Ali has invested in individual members of parliament. Now, the list published by the Times newspaper on Saturday, 28th of September 2024, of Labour MPs being handed mainly freebies, benefits in kind, etc., by the corrupter Wahid Ali, is quite significant, because this is the first scandal of that nature, that is involving members of parliament in corruption of that scale, since the 2009 MP's expenses scandal was broken, by the, of all places, all our organs, the Daily Telegraph. It wasn't the first choice of the person who got hold of the information about the MP scandal, but the Daily Telegraph made a historic decision that had otherwise eluded other publications. And by accepting that information and publishing it, the Daily Telegraph created a historic kind of credibility foundation for itself as a business, as a title. Now, Rosie Duffield's story is, of course, the beginning of this story, of the narrative, a new narrative, let's say, because nobody until her decision, which must have been taking place in the last 2 days, I think, for it to hit the Sunday newspapers, this is the one that will be followed up by others making comments, others making kind of similar statements that she has made, that Starmer has kind of covered the Labour Party administration with sleaze. Now, in a piece by John Smith in the Times, I think, is it in the Times or in the Daily Mail? I think in the Daily Mail on Thursday, John Smith has described her kind of personal, brief encounter with Keir Starmer. And in that, she describes him as wooden, like as if she was talking to a door, wooden door. Now, I have described Starmer the last now coming calendar 4 years, I think, since almost nearly very shortly after he became installed in the position as the replacement for Jeremy Corbyn as the leader of the Labour Party. I have described Starmer as the, within quotes, my quotation, political murderer of the Labour Party. When I call him political murderer of the Labour Party, I meant all these things that are beginning to come out. His dishonesty, his corruption, his sleazy behavior, and of course, his attacks on the poor people, on the pensioners, etc., etc. I mean, that story about his accepting the corrupter Wahid Ali's hospitality and staying there in Wahid Ali's so-called penthouse in Covent Garden in central London for nearly 2 months is staggering, absolutely staggering. And almost all the contradictions exposed in that, exhibited in that behavior, have been pointed out by most of the commentators who have focused on the fact that Starmer claims that he accepted that hospitality because he wanted his teenage son to take his A-level exam by preparing in a place without hassle and harassment and noise, which is what he claims would have happened had he and the family stayed in their ordinary home in Islington. Now, that has been contrasted by commentators, most of the commentators in the Daily Mail and the other right-wing so-called conservative supporting publications, that what about the others? I mean, he's cutting the benefits of the fee paying public school children, whereas he's accepting the hospitality of somebody. I mean, that penthouse was bought a few years ago, only a few years ago, at 18 million pounds by Wahid Ali. That is one of the reports. And the contradictions continue. And there is a whole kind of parade of Labour cabinet ministers, all of them. I mean, it seems that Wahid Ali has been very busy in the last 2 or 3 years in corrupting the already corrupted, the crook, corrupting the already corrupted cabal of Keir Starmer, the crook, the sleazeball. Amazing. No credibility at all. And about the need to have the special box while watching the football match concerned, somebody has pointed out that Jeremy Corbyn, when he was leader of the Labour Party, was seen attending one of the sports events and watching from an ordinary seat. So when Corbyn is being morally compared as being on a higher scale than Starmer, that actually really doesn't it? It shows that Starmer has lost significant moral grounds to somebody who he kind of abused and misused and lied to in order to get the position of leader of the Labour Party. I mean, what can be expected from the likes of Keir Starmer, especially in the context of this broadcast, which is being broadcast on the banner of Baby Angel Geronimo Manifesto editions? When in 2021 he was asked to comment on the attacks on Baby Angel Geronimo, shortly after the views of the congenital liar, Boris Johnson, was published, Starmer said that he went along with Boris Johnson and the agenda, the narrative of attacking the innocent Baby Angel Geronimo. How times have come to actually expose him as worse than cruel. As John Smith has said, she found no evidence of him having any morality at all, any emotion at all. So his cruelty without any human compassion, that is what Keir Starmer is made of. And I think that the little hint so far, anyway, by the Daily Mail's Andrew Pierce, dropping the name of West Streeting as a potential leader, shows that they're already preparing for the next leader of the Labour Party. Of course, after the huge kind of landslide of the 4th of July 2024 election, it is unlikely that the Labour majority will collapse in the House of Parliament, House of Commons. But Keir Starmer is losing support on the ground in the context of all these sleaze and corruption and so on. Whether it will be West Streeting is not necessarily the case. It may be somebody else. because Treating is already featured as one of the fellow sleazeballs. He has received very similar amounts to Angela Reyna, 53,000 plus from Wahid Ali. Now, somebody else has pointed out that Wahid Ali has been very shrewd. Instead of donating to the Labour Party and telling the Labour Party to spend the money as it saw fit, he has targeted the corruption money that and benefits that he has spread, and he has spread the corruption in a way that would get him benefits. One of the other commentators said, that what does he want from this in return? Does he want a kind of watered down kind of legislation so that the industry that he is now operating in, or the industries that he is now operating in, can benefit? That is a question that will come up even more strongly than it has so far. So we shall be talking about all of these in due course, of course, in later editions. This is ending at 17 minutes, 18, well, just over 17 minutes, or 07:54 hours GMT and 08:54 hours BST on Sunday, 29th of September 2024.